Welcome to all new Look Back in Amber. From exclusive interviews to interesting inside insights. Since 2010, we've been the best place to be for all things audio for us Newport County fans. Coming up in the next 45 minutes, I'm Lamsey and I've got all the big questions.
And I'm Stephen and I've got the commentary highlights and I'll be asking, how are we doing right now?
Hi, I'm Luke. I'll have the post-match interview with County Manager Graham Coughlin and I want to know if we reverted back to type.
Okay, also we'll have a clip from our chat with Newport's number 6. Never miss out. Subscribe to the podcast, so make sure you listen live at 3 p.m. on a Sunday and 7 p.m. on a Wednesday after all League 2 home matches.
Right here.
Right here.
Right now.
Right now. Newport City Radio.
So it began at 1 p.m. in the marquee with the NCR warm-up team, the kids from KOM FC. Charity of the day, the Royal British Legion. They didn't want to come talk to us. They were a little bit shy, so we bigged them up anyway. So what they did an amazing thing. You could buy little poppies over there, but you could basically name your price. So I popped a tenner in and got the whole team some poppies. I owe you two one, by the way.
Okay.
So obviously the warm-up team, not the Amber team. There you go. Mm-hmm. Sense of revelry. Do I need to say anything more than that? They were outstanding. Yes, you know every name. It's really difficult to get bands, right? Because there's a lot of them, and they really, really need paying. These guys just turned up for free and rocked it.
Nice.
And it's a combination of the right act at the right place at the right time. So really well done to those guys, and thank you for giving me time and doing that. That was brilliant. Also, we had at 3 p.m. You lot on commentary duty?
Yes, we were.
Yes, we're returning Chris Chappell as well.
Yep, which we'll hear all about in a couple of seconds' time. And nice to see Chris Lucas again overdoing the photos. Stephen?
Yeah, well, Stockport back in League 2 for the first time since, I think, 2011-12. They won their last match against Swindon 4-0 in the FA Cup first round. Stockport County were unbeaten in their last 4 league matches, 1-3, drawn 1. Stockport County had only lost 1 in 9 in all competitions, won 6, drew 2, lost 1. Stockport County had kept clean sheets in their last 6 matches in all competitions, 4 in the last 5 in League 2, and the two sides last met in the Conference National in the 2012-13 season. They drew 0-0 at Ronnie Parade and Colchester won 1-0 at home. Yeah, Newport have not beaten Stockport since the 3-1 win in March 1980 in League Division 4.
Luke, how did Newport County line up yesterday afternoon?
Newport County lined up yesterday. Made a few changes after going 4 unchanged in the league. We had Joe Day in goal, Declan Drysdale, Priestley Farquharson, Mickey Dimitri as our back 3, Aaron Lewis and Cameron Norman as our wing backs, Nathan Mariah, Scott Bennett, James Waiters in the midfield with Omar Bogle and Will Evans up front.
Okay, let's get out of this by hearing the Battle of the Counties yesterday afternoon.
Good afternoon. On the weekend, we remember those that have fought and fallen for Britain and our friends in the Commonwealth. Newport hosts a club in Stockport County who, after being inspired to change their colours to the sky blue and white stripes of Argentina following their World Cup win in 1978, were forced to abandon it in April 1982 on the outbreak of the Falklands War, a conflict that took the lives of 255 British personnel. That kit is back as Stockport's change strip this season, but thankfully they arrive kitted out in their usual plain blue shirts and white shorts this afternoon to make only their second visit to Rodney Parade. Chris Chappell here on commentary alongside Stephen Out. Good to have you back, Stephen.
Yeah, good afternoon, Chris. Yeah, after the clamour of the cup competitions, back to business for Newport County here at Rodney Parade. And against one of the informed teams. I think they've only lost 1 in their last 9 matches, so 6 clean sheets on the bounce as well in all competitions. Yeah, it's going to be a difficult afternoon for Newport County, but I think it's a test that Graham Coughlin will want his team to testing themselves against the best.
Sarcevic outside the D, offloads it to Madden, chips it towards the far post, unmarked, and Hippolyte plants his header across goal instead of into the net. But regardless, the flag had gone up on the right hand side and it would have been offside even if he had scored. Evans uses his body to interrupt Stockport's clearance, and now Bogle's got it on the right. Good feet here inside the area, left footed across the face of goal and poked in by Aaron Lewis from a yard out. And having scored his first of the season just the other week here at Rodney Parade, he's got another one. And you have to say, against the run of play, Newport County take the lead against Stockport County. And that Graham Coughlin resolve and resilience that has kept them in games since his arrival and has kept them level in this one has given them the platform to take the lead. And it's Newport who lead here, Stephen.
Yeah, no, they've been on the back foot for quite a bit of this game, haven't they? But a lovely bit of movement by Bogle in the box. And up pops Aaron Lewis on the back post. 2 goals in 2 consecutive games now at Ronnie Parade. That's a first for him. Yeah, I think Graham Coughlin will be really pleased with this.
It's going to be a free kick right on the touchline because Wright was adjudged to have been caught by Omar Bogle's challenge. So Hussey for Stockport on the 53-minute mark. Left-footed, swings it in towards the near post, and it's gone all the way over the head of Joe Day and inside the far post. Stockport, from an unusual set piece, have caught Newport out here and are back level early in the second half, thanks to the former Port Vale defender Chris Hussey, who gets his second goal of the campaign. Newport 1, Stockport 1. Well, I'm not sure if that was just a superb delivery or poor judgment from Joe Day.
Yeah, it was kind of, with the World Cup coming up, it was kind of Ronaldinho-esque, wasn't it? Hit from a wide area, caught the keeper out. Yeah, he got a couple of assists and a goal in his last game, and he's carried that on as well. Yeah, really disappointing for County to fall behind in such, crazy circumstances, really, isn't it? Just letting them back into the game.
A right challenge by Waite, and he's won it back for Newport. Waite through the middle, he's got options left and right. Evans is in space on the right hand side, left foot in. Oh, he's trying to curl it towards the top left corner to the right hand side of the area. He wanted to whip it in with his left foot, but sent it wide and a bit too high, and it remains 1-1. Southern Hales again skips down the right, but his cross comes back off the bar, I think, and it's gone in right on the line. Farquharson was trying to block it on the line. It was heading in anyway, but Southern Hales somehow burst into a pocket of space on the right hand side, and Paddy Madden, I think, was in the middle, sending it goalwards. And Farquharson couldn't really do much on the line to keep it out. And from being behind at half-time, Stockport have turned it around and lead 2-1.
Yeah, it's the second calamitous goal they've conceded in the second half. Yeah, I just think it'd be really disappointing to give Stockport two silly goals to give away. He's gone from a winning position now to a losing position. And you'd probably expect them to see this out now.
Good run this from Farquharson. Finds Bogle, right corner of the area. Step overs, and the shot is saved and ricochets near to the penalty spot, only to be cleared. But great play from Farquharson, seconds after he couldn't keep the ball out on the line. Here he comes, it's a bit higher and headed out by Stockport to the edge of the box. Lewis Collins misses his jump, and now Madden sends Collar away on the right hand side, chips it back towards Madden, header, a goal, and it's come off the crossbar. Day was beaten, well placed header, and Newport close to going 3-1 down. And down the left, nice play from Will Evans. Left foot across, in towards the middle, brought down by Lewis Collins. Shot comes in, Bennett! Oh, and it's pushed away for a corner. Great opportunity, 18 yards out, and Bennett on his right foot got it on target. Tussle on the touchline, and there's the final whistle. Stockport County have come from behind to defeat their hosts here, Newport County. It's now 6 wins in 7 for Stockport, who are now in their stride after promotion and are up into the top half as it ends. Newport County 1, Stockport County 2.
Thank you to Stephen and Chris. We will talk about everything to do with that game in a couple of seconds' time. Let's hear off the Newport County manager, Graham Coughlin.
Basic errors, simple as that. We made them, they didn't. The ball goes in the back of our net. Tide turns on a controversial Omar Bogle tackle. I thought it was a brilliant tackle. If we're going to stop players tackling, we're in trouble. My striker has run 30-40 yards and he's made an unbelievable tackle. Cleanly got the ball, as you can see. Free kick, and it ends up in the back of our net. So those little incidents, those little minor details, when they go against you, they can end up in the back of your net. But there's no excuse. You can't be beat like that from a free kick. Joe's a little bit gutted in there, but he'll live in there.
And you were in a good position, weren't you, at half time? I mean, you conceded in the last minute on Tuesday night. Today, the opposite took the lead.
Yeah, I didn't think we played great, to be honest, but we looked tired. We looked as if we've had a real tough month and it caught up with us. So we weren't at our fluent best, or didn't have the energy levels that we would probably expect and we probably normally have. But in fairness to the lads, they were, even though they were running in treacle at times, they were absolutely giving their all. They were lifting the legs and they were running as hard as they can. So nobody will ever question their work rate, their attitude and their commitment, to be fair. But like I say, it was just two moments that we gifted to Stockport that had done us. But like I say, one or two errors, they've been here long before I've come through the front door, so it's just eradicating them errors and moving forward from there. But I was relatively pleased with how we went, how we done, and how we went about our business, given the month that we're after having.
And how were the lads after what is your first defeat in the league under your stewardship?
The lads are obviously good. They're senior pros and they want to win football matches. They're good with it, as you would imagine. Again, under the circumstances, I think that's even harder to take, to be honest. But they've clicked. There's no doubt about it. Credit must go. You must give credit to Stockport. They kept going and they've clicked into gear over the last 5-6 weeks. And it's something I can actually see us doing in the not too distant future.
You made it quite a fast start. Was that always the game plan this afternoon?
Well, we have been starting well, in fairness to us, other than probably Leicester, I would say, where we didn't see much of the ball. But we have been starting fast in games. I think there was a couple of games here that we've gone 1-0 up in the first 15-20 minutes. So yeah, we have been fast, starting games fast, which was relatively pleasing. We got out of blocks, but then we kind of lost our way. Stockport got a little bit of control of the ball and had a little bit of possession. They had a couple of shots, nothing too troublesome. We defended well, and then we just sank a little bit and we lost a little bit of territory. And lo and behold, as football goes, you know, we got a goal at just before half time, which sends us in and changes the team talk from both managers. But look, it was a tough afternoon for us, tough to take, but it was a pleasing enough performance.
Yeah, you say pleasing. First goal Stockport conceded in about 6 games, so that must be a positive at least.
Yeah, but it's a pity they didn't concede 3 today or 2 today. That would have been even more pleasing. I don't want to be, and I've said this before, I don't want to be somebody that a gallant loser. I want to be a winner, and that's the way we've been brought up as kids in Ireland. We want to win, and this dressing room, the mentality and the mindset has certainly changed in that direction over the last few weeks. So I guess the lads will be hurting this evening, but like I said, Monday it'll be one of them days where we'll have to regroup, reset, and move on.
How do you go about eradicating those individual errors? We hear that word many times under your predecessor James Rowbury. How do you go about cutting them out?
Well, the basic errors come from individual errors. Individuals who don't have confidence, individuals who don't have self-belief. It's a basic. But I don't understand why our group don't have that self-belief and that confidence, because they've been really, really positive over the last few weeks. They've been really, really good, and I don't see them week in, week out, them errors. I just see it now and again. And against the good teams, you get punished for those errors. I've been disappointed with 1 or 2 of the goals that we have conceded. Really disappointed. I think we can do the basics better. I.e., I'm a big believer in stopping crosses. in this division, and lo and behold, they score off a cross. You mark your man in the box. Paddy Madden steals a march on our centre half and puts it in the back of the net. So it's definitely work on the training ground. It's definitely instilling self-belief, and it's definitely instilling self-confidence in players.
Got a free week now, so you have plenty of time to work on those things like you just mentioned.
Yes, we'll get to work. Obviously Monday morning we'll regroup, we'll get to work, and we'll go again, and we'll work on what we need to work on towards next week. Another home game here, fans. Another chance to hopefully see another Newport County home win. Yeah, I think the fans understood. I thought they understood today, and they were brilliant. They were brilliant again, and I fully agree with them when we're on the attack and somebody picks the ball up. I've never seen that before in football, and then I've never seen three grown men regroup and come up with some sort of. I can't even explain what they were saying, to be quite honest with you. It was very, very. It was poor, to be honest. But look, let's. I don't know what to say. I can't be honest. I'm not allowed to be honest. I'm not allowed to give me opinion and my view on one or two incidents in the game. So I'll leave that. I'll take that home, and I'll probably get an apology in the morning, the usual. But apologies are no good to us really at this stage of the season. We're honest. We're hard working people, and we set our standards. And unfortunately other people in the game don't have the same standards as ourselves. Last one from me, Aaron Lewis, 2 goals in the matter of 2 home games here in the space of a week. He's turned into a goal machine, isn't he? He's been very good. He's been patient as well to come into the team. He's been patient. He knows the game. He's done very, very well for us. But I'd still ask him to stop the cross coming in the box late on in the game. For their second goal. So just those small little details. But yeah, he's a great kid. He's a great lad to work with. I've really enjoyed working with him, to be fair. And there's a lot to come from Aaron. There's a lot to come from him and the rest of the group going forward. Cheers, Graham.
Newport County manager Graham Coughlin on his one-to-one interview with Luke Lewis. Where were the rest of the journalists?
I know
what was going on there.
I think they're going to Qatar, really, aren't they?
Yeah, maybe.
No comment. Stephen, walk me through it.
Well, you don't need me to walk you through it. Yeah.
Oh, do you know? I knew you were going to say that, you cheeky monkey.
Okay.
Do you know what? He's like the word for Stephen this weekend is salty. He's been salty all weekend. All he's done is given me grief in our chat group all the way through the weekend because I managed to go and watch a full game of Newport County at home.
Yep.
In fact, I've seen Newport County more than you in this past 7 days.
You have.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me about that.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
moving on.
Well, I thought we started off quite well. I think we were creating chances from set pieces. Drysdale had a really good chance, for example. But then I think as the first half went on, Stockport kind of settled into their rhythm, and they looked really dangerous in the final third of the pitch. I thought they were really good in around the penalty area. But they didn't really test Joe Day, really. So, and I think then Newport defended quite well when they were up against it, as I said in the commentary. And then they went and did a very Newport County thing by taking the lead when they were when they had their backs against the wall. How many times have we seen that before? And I thought half time I was really positive. I thought I think something might happen here. I think we might get a result today. I was feeling quite good. And then the second half happened. All that went away. Yeah, I thought until they actually scored, I thought the second half was quite even. But then, a really soft goal to concede from the free kick. I don't know how that beat everyone really. I think it might have taken everyone by surprise by going in. As I said, it was kind of Ronaldinho-esque from the World Cup a few years back. And then I think that basically, you let Stockport back into the game, and I think their confidence grew, and they were playing really well. They were a really good side, to be honest. Especially in the second half, the right back, Southern Hales, bombing down that right-hand side was, well, I don't know what he had for half-time, but I wouldn't mind a few drinks of that.
Weetabix.
I think he had something.
He had his cake from Cake Lab.
Yeah, maybe he did. Yeah, he did.
There's the weekly mention of Cake Lab.
Yeah.
Tick.
Hello, Cake Lab, my new friends. Yeah, but I thought they were the better team in the second half. Yeah, they were causing all sorts of problems. And like I said, the second goal was poor defending again, I think. Yeah, it was like Graham Coughlin said, he should have stopped the cross from getting in the box. And yeah, it was just... But yeah, I thought, we had a couple of chances. I thought maybe we could have snatched an equaliser even. But I think what happened was after Stockport scored, I think we lost our composure. And I think that's the big word for me for that second half. We lost all composure. And we were getting chances in the box, but like I said, there was no composure to finish those chances off. So, and I think that cost us then. Yeah, he brought on some subs. He changed it to a 4-2-3-1, but I don't think the subs really...
At least it wasn't 4-2.
Yeah, I know, yeah. So, but I don't think they really made an impact, to be honest, the subs. And, yeah, I think on times the decision-making could have been better with playing the balls and in the final third. But you've got to give credit to Stockport. They're a really, really good outfit. And, they were really good, like I said, going forward in possession. They don't concede a lot of goals, but we did manage to get one. So that's a positive. We've done something a lot of teams won't have done so far this season. So, just overall, I was a little bit disappointed with the way we conceded the goals, but you've got to give credit to the opposition sometimes.
Yeah, I agree with everything Stephen said. I think Stockport, you can see why they're on a really long unbeaten run now. I think it's 8 or 9 in the league. They're climbing up the table. They'll be there or thereabouts at the end of the season. I have no doubt in my mind that they will be. I think first half, Stockport, we started off really well. I asked Graham about a fast start. Was that always the game plan? Quite well.
Know, we heard.
I know.
We just played it.
my 5-minute audio catch-up with Newport County manager Graham Coughlin.
We don't need to meet the manager event this week. No. Luke's already had one.
But yeah, we started off fast, and then Stockport came into the game, and then they looked dangerous without creating too much. I think it was just we after Tuesday night and tonight, we can defend well. In this league, sometimes you do need to do the defensive side more than the offensive side. It's not all about tiki-taka, possession-based football in League 2. Sometimes you need to know how to defend well. And Tuesday night, Leicester scored with 3 world-class goals. Jamie Vardy does what Jamie Vardy does best. There's no one better in the world than Jamie Vardy at what he does. And James Justin's goal, there's no stopping that. But, yeah, I think first half, it was quite even. Bit of a sucker punch, I'd say, for Stockport when Aaron Lewis scored 2 goals in 2 weeks. Just before half-time, changed the team talk, obviously, for both managers as well. And then second half, Stockport came into their own. We talk about sometimes it's been a game with 2 halves. Do you think that was on show yesterday, Stephen?
I don't know. I think we just kind of we managed to edge the first half, I think, with the goal, but I think we actually had more shots than what they did in the first half.
I thought the second half was better.
But, second half from Stockport was, really good.
Yeah. I thought we did well towards the end, this whole fight until the end, which I'm now signed back up to. If you didn't hear the podcast a couple of weeks ago, I've changed my mind again.
One game in the stand and he's fighting.
I'm there. One game in the stand and 2 things that were noticeable from my point of view. We spoke about before, the midfield. Didn't feel that they were being included.
Well, yesterday we were talking about off air that we've seen quite a few long balls that were being played yesterday from the defence over to the attack, and the midfield was bypassed a little bit. So if you're playing long balls over to your Will Evans and your Omar Bogles, you're not really going to have chances in the midfield. I think when the midfield did get on the ball, James Waite did okay, tried to make things happen. Nathan Ryan-Welsh looked energetic as always. When we did try and go through the midfield, then we looked okay. I think Stockport were just really good. You can see why they're favourites for promotion. They're attracting League 1 players in non-league. Anthony Sasovic, who was captain of Bolton, who were a mid-table League 1 club, playing week in, week out in League 1, left to go to a non-league club, They are a good side.
Yeah, because I think what they've done really well is obviously they won the National League last year, but what they've done really well is they've kept a lot of the same players. So a lot of them have, like the goalkeeper, for example, has won 2 promotions with them. So they've got confidence. They've got not that many changes to the team, so that kind of form from last season is kind of running over into this season.
Just added to it rather than
definitely, yeah.
Yeah, we need to have a look how they did that.
But I think you do see it sometimes, don't you? You see teams come up and they've got momentum. It's a big word in football, momentum.
Yeah.
I know they were awful for the first 5 away games of the season, but I think I think probably they were finding their feet in the league, and I think they've definitely done that now. And you can see now they're picking up results away from home. Not conceding many, obviously, like we said, 6 clean sheets in all competitions. And they're a really impressive side, to be honest.
It's the old phrase of win your home games and draw your away games and you'll be okay. And Stockport are showing that at the moment. Hopefully we can do that now starting next weekend against Gillingham.
Yeah, well, I know that's Stephen's talking point in a couple of seconds that we're going to come on to. The one thing I noticed, and I was really, really pleased with on Tuesday night, cold Tuesday night in Leicester, was, that's quite nice, wasn't it? I saw a lot of switching of play, which against the Premier League team, I was not expecting to see that. I didn't see that yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. I think, right from where we were sitting in the commentary in the press area, you could hear fans shouting constantly, switch the play, switch it.
It was Mad Andy, my mate. Yeah, he stood next to me, which my eardrum will never recover from that experience.
Yeah. Is he going, switch it? Yeah.
Lino!
Like I said, I think that was one of the things. I think the decision making could have been better, because there was times when players were out wide in space and they weren't finding those passes. They weren't. Yeah, I just think. Yeah.
They tried to make the passes on some occasions, but it was either going out to play or going straight to a Stockport player.
Yeah.
Handball or not handball? That is the question.
It was a really odd moment, wasn't it? Because I didn't really see what happened. Chris didn't see what happened. Luke, you didn't see what happened either, did you?
Graham Coughlin knows what happened.
Graham Coughlin knew what happened. I had to go on Twitter to find out what happened.
Yeah.
He said after the post-match, because we asked him after the interview had finished what happened, and he said basically, I don't know if I'll be allowed to mention this on air, but here we go.
You're going to do it anyway.
Do it anyway.
This is what you should listen to the live version of Amper, because this might not make the podcast.
This might not. Depends what he says in the next 30 seconds.
He said the referee was unsure. Then he spoke to the assistant referee on the far side, who wasn't sure either.
We weren't sure.
Nobody else was sure.
Apparently, one of the Stockport players claimed they heard a whistle. So he thought the referee had given a free kick. The Stockport player picked it up when the referee didn't blow his whistle. Normally, that would either be a yellow or a red card.
Yeah.
But the fourth official, apparently, the Stockport player said they heard a whistle, and the Stockport bench said they heard a whistle. Apparently, the only time that fourth official mentioned about hearing a whistle was after the Stockport bench said they heard a whistle. So make that what you will.
And the odd thing about it is he give a free kick to Stockport?
I know the Katie fans were calling for a red card, but it's not a red card, is it?
No, I would have probably said a yellow.
I think it's only a red card if it's in the bot.
Yeah, I mean, yellow card would have probably been appropriate, but just one of the. I think after that, the ref lost the game a bit after that, didn't he? But
well done on clearing up an unclear situation.
Well, we try.
It's got to be done. Let's talk about the subs, because I love talking about his subs.
I thought it was a bit odd, to be honest, that it took Dimitri off. I don't know whether he was suffering with tiredness or something.
He had a big game Tuesday, didn't he?
Yeah. So and then he switched it to a back four. Obviously, still Drysdale and Farquharson in there, who were both playing well, I thought. But he went to a 4-2-3-1, and so put Wilmot out wide. I think Will Evans went wider, and Collins behind Bogle up front on his own, but they didn't really make much of an impact. I don't think Wilmot really saw the ball that much. Collins had one good cross, I think it was for Bennett, who had a chance, but other than that, it was pretty ineffective, to be honest.
Okay. Look, let's go to the Absolutely County man of the match.
Yeah, on Twitter, on Absolutely County. But, your options yesterday were Aaron Lewis, who scored, Will Evans, who I thought, and we said was outstanding yesterday, just kept working. And Declan Drysdale, who's waited a little bit for his opportunity under the new manager, but I think he was quite impressive yesterday. Impressed me, definitely. Stephen, who was your man of the match yesterday? Sponsors gave it to Aaron Lewis, probably because of his goal.
Yeah, I think, probably because of the goal. Up until the it wasn't really much he could do about it, but I would have probably given it to Farky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pick me.
Ramsey was man of the match yesterday for his encouragement in the stands.
It was Will Evans for me. I really enjoyed Will's performance. I would like to say that we've had Will on the show. You can listen to that one.
Yeah.
We've had Declan on the show. You can listen to that one.
Aaron Lewis, you're next.
Yeah, you're next. We're coming for you. No, but we've got Priestley next. So we got a little clip coming
Don't
up
you mean
on that
Newport
one.
County's number 6?
I do, but I thought I'd give it a little bit more away.
The fans agree with you. You're a man of the people. Will Evans is man of the match.
Flamingo Bingo is back. It's bigger and badder than ever before. And a new breed of bingo, and it's here at the Neon. Celebrity guests, appearances, DJs, insane prizes. On Friday the 25th of November, doors open at 7:30. Tickets available at theneon.co.uk.
Right here.
Right here.
Right now.
Right now.
Newport City Radio.
So for my talking point this week, I'm going to ask the question, do we need a bit of perspective? Like, I noticed last night a lot of doom and gloom again on social media following the game, and it just got me thinking about where we are at the moment as a team. Obviously as a club as well, but more as a team. So, yes, I thought I'd just ask the question, where are we at the moment? Ian Lambsdale, expert on all things football. What do you think?
We are where we are.
Okay, short and sweet. Okay, cool.
It is what it is until it isn't. There you go, there's another phrase. No, we are, aren't we? You know, nobody wants to be in this position at this moment in time. We had great hopes at the start of the season. We were really excited about it.
Yeah.
And it hit a bit of a sticky point pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But that's done and it's gone, and we're now in a new era. I think Graham's done really well. He's come in and done what I expected him to do.
Yeah.
He is a defensive-minded coach, I think, and that's exactly what he's done. And against a team like Stockport, you're not going to be able to do that. Leicester, just pop that in the bin for 2 minutes, because I don't think you can include that into this element of the conversation. Obviously, you two can, but I wouldn't. It's early enough for us to still make a charge. And I think what we've got to see is that it is positive. I think both Rowbury and Coughlin know that there's good players there. And I think Coughlin's now saying they're honest, hard-working players. I think we knew that anyway, but I've got this feeling. I know, Luke, you've got a talking point coming up in a couple of seconds' time that I want to try and cement this other side of the argument to it as well. But on this one, I think we... Yeah, everybody says, we're always happy, we're always positive and stuff like that. Well, I think we've got rights to be.
Yeah.
It's not, we've got to be honest and say it's not been great, but I think, give or take Stockport, which I think were just great yesterday, I think we're doing absolutely fine and we'll be okay.
Luke Lewis, what do you think, mate? Where are we?
Well, in terms of league position, we're still only 4 points off the relegation zone.
Yeah.
So fans could look at it in that way, but we're doing well. We just went to a Premier League side and did really, really well. We held our own for a lot of the game. We were in a good position. I think Graham's come in, he's instilled something into the players. I just want to say as well, recently, obviously you've got the World Cup coming up in a few weeks, and we've had 4 ex-county players who, over the past few weeks, are going. Ben White with England, Antoine Semenyo with Ghana, Mark Harris for Wales, and Ollie Cooper's on the reserve standby list with Wales alongside George James of Birmingham City. So, in terms of that side of the club, we're developing players. We're doing really, really well. Yeah, league position isn't looking too good at the moment.
And that's a really good point, because you've taken it from another angle. Let's take the third angle to this. And the club, I think, is still doing financially quite well. Yeah. We've been in a couple of competitions. There's money coming off the back of that as well. So even despite the wobble, I know everyone was calling for everybody's heads at some point. I think even the institution that is Newport County FC is in good form.
I think we've got to remember yesterday we lost to one of the form teams in the league, but we did, like I said, we did manage to score against them, which hasn't happened in the previous 6 games. We were unbeaten in the previous 3 league matches, and those two of those games were against good sides in Northampton and Mansfield away. Up until yesterday, we'd kept a clean sheet in 2 out of 3 league matches, and I think, as Luke said, we're getting much better defensively. And apart from a couple of errors yesterday, we look quite comfortable against a good Stockport team. And I think, like you said, we've got the cup competitions coming up. We've just played Leicester, really, really positive. I think the manager's going to improve us even further over time, even though it's still early days yet. And I mean, we just got to remember where we were when he took over. We had 2 wins out of 11. So I think, there's a lot of positive signs to come from his team.
And he's got a full week in training now as well. He's talked about individual errors and things to work on, and now he's got a full week of training.
And he's only had one of those to date, isn't he? He's only had 1 full week with him a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. Well, last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A big club night is coming to the Neon. Legendary reggae DJ Sir David Rodigan is here on Saturday the 19th of November. Doors open at 7:30 p.m. and tickets are available at theneon.co.uk.
Right here.
Right here.
Right now.
Right now.
Newport City Radio.
So for my talking point this week, what I want to ask is, have we reverted back to type? In post-match press conference, we heard Graham Coughlin mention the word individual errors, which we haven't heard in the space of a month since he took over, since we last spoke to James Robury. But I want to ask, have we reverted back to type, Stephen Howell?
Well, I think on yesterday's showing, I think half of me says yes and the other half of me says no. I think what happened is, we put in a really good performance in the first half. We stood up well to Stockport, got ourselves in front, which I thought was really, really good. Normally we're pretty good at holding on to leads at home, but unfortunately yesterday that didn't work out. And then I think, it was a bit like what we were hearing under Robury, wasn't it? Individual errors. We used to hear that a lot.
Every game, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was it, more or less. And we were we spoke last week, didn't we, about being punished by things, and that's what happened yesterday. We got punished. And, good sides will do that to you, So, like I just spoke about, I think the players just needed a little bit more of composure on the ball, and that's what was happening under Robury, when they were kind of losing their composure. And I think you spoke about the ball bypassing the midfield. I think that was another thing that people were talking about a lot. Seems to have crept back in again, even though last week I was saying the link between the midfield and the forwards was really good. That seemed to, I think, maybe just under pressure, the players maybe panicking a little bit. But then I think we settled down, and then we started to create the chances of our own, and could have possibly got an equaliser with better finishing. But I think, it's only one game. I don't want to really, overreact to it. But obviously, we don't want to see these things creeping back in, because he's done so well to get rid of those things. We haven't spoke about individual errors. We haven't spoke about the long balls all the time. It hasn't been evident over the last few games. So, it's a little bit of a concern to see it come back yesterday, but I'm not too worried about it.
I think we've got to roll back a couple of managers and look at it from a bit more of a distant point of view. And Flinny, we were very critical about hoofball. I'm not seeing that as such, although I do see the midfield missing a little bit. I think we could do more. I think we've got to trust the midfield a bit more. I think also you've got that fighting spirit, which I mentioned. I guess I've mentioned it loads, but that fight until the end, I'm seeing that back. I'm seeing that spirit. I'm seeing some really, really good individual performances of the guys that we've had in the studio as well. There's that. The thing that I've noticed as well is that, so is there a reversion to type? I don't know what the type is, but I think it will become very clear quite soon what is the Graham Coughlin era and what is the mantra. I think I mentioned to you off air, I really like his position of, it really annoys him when we lose. He's not a good loser. Yeah. And that's really interesting, because I think that's a lovely phrase for him to get over all sorts of problems. He doesn't have to blame an individual player. He doesn't have to sort of sap morale, because he's all about positivity and making sure the players... And Luke, you asked him the best question that you could have ever asked in that situation yesterday, which was, okay, lacking confidence, what do you do about that? And you got your answer.
Yeah.
I asked him, obviously, about how do you go about stopping them, and he said it's about lack of confidence, lack of belief, which he is a bit puzzled about, because since he's come in, they've come a long way in terms of mentality and...
I think what you've got there, where I feel that's come from, is that we didn't have the great end to the season that we wanted last season. So the rot started there, I think, didn't it? Yeah. And that's just coming through. And you can't keep sort of like taking blow after blow after blow, have a bit of success, but then when suddenly you get, when you come across a Stockport, suddenly keep that mentality going, I don't think. But I think yesterday might have been a revision of type a little bit, if that answers your question.
Neon will rock on Saturday 3rd of December as Tribute Taxa, AC/DC and the Foo Fighters will be playing live here at our home at the Neon. Doors open at 7:30 and tickets are still available at theneon.co.uk.
Right here, right now.
Newport City Radio.
Okay, so we had a little conversation to Newport's number 6 a couple of weeks ago, and we are going to launch this very, very soon. Should we have a listen to what Priestley said to us about his career and how he started in football?
Yeah.
Then I joined Wickham, so that was they were in League One, I think, then. And that was my first sort of pro team, if you like. And I'd done that till 15, 16. and then got released from there, and then I actually stopped football. I quit because I was like, at a young age, children at a young age or teenagers, it's all you've ever wanted, football, and then when someone tells you you're not good enough, you sort of quit, sort of thing. So I sort of quit, and then I went into beach soccer, and that's what everyone keeps talking about. How'd you get into this? How'd you get into that? So I've done that for like 4 years, and then I went West London and played for Hazen Yedding in semi-pro, and then I actually was gonna finish football again, and then got a message on Twitter actually by a guy called Mark on Top Targets on Twitter, and I went to Connors Quay because I was working behind the bar and I was about 20, 21 working behind the bar. I said, you know what, I'm gonna go, and then for 2 years, then Newport signed me.
Those down periods, because we spoke to Gavin about it and James previously, and they're trying to work really hard to make sure that if one of their development players doesn't quite make it through, they try and make sure that there's career progression and stuff like that. Did you feel at that point that football let you down a little bit?
Yeah, because that's all you think about as a kid, I think. As you're growing up playing football, all you want to do is play football.
He was just super cool, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
He was.
Brilliant.
The 4 players we spoke to, Priestley's number 3 that we're going to let you have a listen to over the next couple of weeks, and it was just great. And he had a very interesting route into football, which is why I want to play you that clip. The full interview will be available on Newport City Radio this Thursday, the 17th at 8 a.m. It will be available as a podcast at 9 a.m. So you know what you got to do. You got to like and subscribe and make sure you get it fresh on that day.
Right here.
Right here.
Right now.
Right now.
Newport City Radio.
Well, the next home fixtures are going to take us ages to go through, aren't they?
Yep.
Because there's only one. So it's going to be Gillingham on Saturday the 19th of November at 3 p.m. at Rodney Parade. Rebecca Richardson is going to be in the marquee. We've never seen Rebecca before. I'm very excited, yet very nervous. No, she'll be fine. So there's looking at that, and it's the Christmas light switch on as well. So we're in 2 places at once that day. But back onto the football. Saturday, Luke, Gillingham.
Gillingham 3 points away from home so far this season. They're just outside the relegation zone. They do have Neil Harris in charge, ex-Cardiff. It would have been interesting to see the dynamic between him and James Roby, should James Roby still be in charge. James Roby was a coach under Neil Harris at Cardiff, but obviously we know what happened. It'll be interesting to see as well. They have Dom Jeffries, who was an academy graduate here in Newport County, playing for them, so it'll be interesting to see his return to Rodney Parade. But I think we'll get back to winning ways under Graham Cock, and I'm going to say 2-0 Newport.
Nice bounce back, yep.
I think this is a big one actually, because they're 22nd in League 2. They're only 3 points behind us, but they've got a game in hand, so I think it's going to be a big one. Yeah, they've lost the last 3 matches. They haven't won away all season, or winless in the last 6, I should say. Only 1 win in the last 8. Yeah, not won away all season. I think we're going to win 2-1.
A potential 6-pointer on Saturday then? It's too early for that?
Yeah,
okay. Anyway, thank you for taking time out to listen today. As always, we'd love to read your thoughts about our thoughts on Facebook, on Twitter and Instagram via direct message. We're also on an email, studio@newportcityradio.org. Go on, reach out, have a chat to us. We will catch you on Sunday, the 20th of November from 3 p.m. as we look back in amber at the match against Gillingham. More talking points, more banter, and a sneak listen to our interview with Vice Captain Mickey Demetrio.
Right here, right now.
Newport City Radio.